anything to nitpick Caitlin Clark on, and we all know that. So let's take a listen to what she had to say about Caitlin Clark being some sort of turnover machine. Let's get into it.
From the charity stripe tonight, Caitlin Clark has been responsible for 38 of Indiana's 77 points so far. Yeah, and I feel like that's worth mentioning, LaChina, because...
Okay, now pay attention. She's about to address this turnover situation.
You know, we all read the comments, right? We see that some folks... The question for you is, you read the comments? Just when they're about other people. That's a dangerous place to be. Why are people... Caitlin's trying to... Yeah, because she holds the basketball for the majority of the 40 minutes. Welcome to the sport of basketball. Okay, I'm off the soapbox now.
All right. Kate Scott, you are basketball, okay, because all of the high usage rate guards have turnovers, okay? Cade Cunningham, Detroit Pistons, average about 9.5 assists a game. Detroit Pistons rely on him to create everything. He averages about 4 turnovers, okay? The Joker, okay? The multiple-time MVP, absolute clowns, okay? They are moving like absolute clowns, make no mistake about it. So the Indiana Fever put together... You know, the graphics lately for the Indiana Fever have not been showcasing Caitlin Clark at all. And I 100% believe it is intentional. Okay, so if you look at this graphic here, they have Raven Johnson, okay, and you see is promoting less tickets per game. Go take a look in the mirror at how you are moving. You guys have now been relegated to using gimmicks to sell tickets. Okay, you're giving away Christmas trinkets, you're giving away holiday cards, and it's not the holidays. You're giving away everything you can to get people to come out, but while being disrespectful toward Caitlin Clark and Caitlin Clark fans, when you know you have turned the fans off so much that now you are relegated to doing these type of events, and you know you're trying to put Raven Johnson on there. You know, look, you was giving away family nights, $28 tickets with Cheez-Its, hats, and hot dogs, and you guys have completely ruined the brand because you have been and make it about everybody else, such as the whole WNBA has, is absolutely ridiculous. The league and the team refuses to lean into the biggest star the sport has ever seen.
The narrative just got completely flipped on live television, and the WNBA establishment is scrambling. For 3 straight years, critics have been hammering Caitlin Clark with one relentless attack: her turnovers. They branded her Turnover Tammy, ignored her record-breaking scoring, dismissed her gravity-defying assists, and made her mistakes the centerpiece of every conversation. But Sunday afternoon, during a national NBC broadcast, that entire manufactured controversy got surgically dismantled by someone who actually understands basketball mathematics. And the person defending Clark wasn't some random analyst or biased fan. It was a mainstream broadcaster who just delivered the most devastating reality check the WNBA has seen all season. Here's what happened that has everyone talking. The Indiana Fever were dominating the Seattle Storm, and Caitlin Clark was putting on an absolute clinic in offensive efficiency. During the third quarter, analyst LaChina Robinson dropped a statistic that should have ended every turnover debate permanently. Clark had been directly responsible for 38 of Indiana's 77 points. Think about that for a second. In just 3 quarters of basketball, nearly 50% of everything the Fever generated offensively ran through one player's hands, vision, and decision-making. That's not just impressive, that's historically dominant. And that's when broadcast partner Kate Scott decided she'd heard enough of the critics and delivered the most important basketball lesson of the season. Scott looked directly into that camera and said what every basketball analyst should have been saying for months. You know, we all read the comments, right? We see that some folks have a problem with how much Caitlin turns the ball over. So I looked things up just comparing to the NBA leaders in assists. Nikola Jokic, about 10 assists a game, 4 turnovers a game. Cade Cunningham, about 9.5 assists per game, 4 turnovers a game. So calm down, everybody. When you're handling the ball all the time, you're going to have some turnovers because she holds the basketball for the majority of the 40 minutes. Welcome to the sport of basketball. Finally, someone in mainstream media emphasized basic basketball mathematics instead of manufactured controversy. Scott just exposed every critic who's been pushing this turnover narrative as either completely ignorant of how elite basketball works or deliberately misleading their audience. But here's where this gets absolutely wild. Let's break down the exact context that critics have been deliberately ignoring. Clark combined for 11 turnovers in her first 2 games of the season. 5 against Dallas in the opener, 6 against the Lakers. 11 turnovers in 2 games from a point guard generated immediate headlines, and those headlines came fast and vicious. Critics pounced immediately, social media exploded with hot takes, and the narrative became that Clark was crumbling under WNBA pressure. They claimed a player with those numbers couldn't lead a competitive team. Every single one of those takes missed the most crucial piece of context: what's actually generating those turnovers and what's being created alongside them. Kate Scott knows the answer because she studied the analytics instead of just reacting to box scores like everyone else. Clark's turnovers happen because she's making highly advanced decisions at breakneck speed against elite defenders who spent their entire offseason preparing to disrupt her exact tendencies. She's pushing the pace on a team that naturally plays slower tempo. She's threading passes into impossibly tight windows that most players wouldn't even attempt. She's making split-second reads that require her teammates to be exactly where they need to be at precisely the right moment. When you play basketball at that high-risk, high-reward velocity, mistakes are inevitable. When those passes get dropped or deflected, they show up as turnovers on Clark's stat sheet. But when they connect, they result in defense-breaking assists that generate easy buckets. You absolutely cannot have Clark's high-volume assist totals without the accompanying turnover numbers. They're 2 sides of the same offensive coin, and anyone who understands basketball knows this. Look at the NBA comparisons Scott brought up, because this is where the hypocrisy gets exposed. James Harden during his Houston peak was averaging 35 points and double-digit assists while turning the ball over constantly. LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Russell Westbrook, every single elite playmaker in basketball history has high turnover numbers when they're the primary engine of their offense. When your usage rate dictates that you initiate the majority of your team's half-court actions, turnovers are the natural trade-off of running elite offense at maximum volume. Clark is currently averaging 9 assists per game, putting her in the top 3 in the entire WNBA in playmaking, while generating nearly 50% of her team's offense. Yet somehow, the focus remains on her turnovers. It's either a complete misunderstanding of basketball fundamentals, or it's a deliberate double standard designed to diminish her impact. Now here's the kicker. While national broadcasters like Kate Scott are finally providing analytical truth, there's serious dysfunction happening within Clark's own organization. The Indiana Fever front office is making decisions that have fans absolutely furious, and it's starting to show in ways that should terrify the franchise. Their marketing department's recent choices have drawn massive criticism, and the strategy looks either completely tone-deaf or deliberately sabotaging their own star. Take a look at their promotional graphics for major games, and you'll see something that makes zero sense. They're highlighting role players instead of the marquee attraction that sells tickets. No disrespect to players like Raven Johnson, but she's a young rotation player averaging modest numbers who played 16 minutes the other night without scoring. Yet somehow, she's prominently featured on promotional material while Caitlin Clark, the player leading the WNBA in assists and sitting second in scoring, gets left off entirely. This isn't accidental oversight. This is deliberate organizational choice, and the results are becoming impossible to ignore. The Fever have highlighted Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hall, and Sophie Cunningham in their marketing campaigns, while seemingly trying to downplay the individual spotlight that Clark commands. They're pushing a collective team identity approach, but what's the direct result of this strategy? Ticket sales have noticeably softened, and a significant segment of their fan base is showing frustration financially. Thousands of empty seats appeared at Gainbridge Fieldhouse during the Seattle Storm game, drawing noticeably lower attendance compared to games last season. When fans feel like the organization isn't fully embracing their star player, engagement drops dramatically. Many are tracking Clark first, and if they sense the environment isn't supportive, they simply choose not to attend. The Fever's response to declining attendance reveals just how serious this problem has become. They've turned to heavy promotional giveaways and ticket discounts that they never needed during Clark's rookie year. Family nights with lower prices, food and merchandise packages, out-of-season holiday promotions. These are desperation moves from an organization that should be selling out organically. Secondary market ticket prices have dropped drastically for certain matchups, and resale values have plummeted. During her rookie season, the arena sold out naturally because fans wanted to see her play freely. Now, with visible sideline tension between Clark and the coaching staff, plus marketing that shifts spotlight away from her, the brand momentum has hit a massive roadblock. The front office is scrambling to fill seats, while one of basketball's most dynamic young playmakers is delivering incredible numbers nightly. Because despite all the surrounding chaos, Clark keeps executing at an elite level. Her performance against Seattle is exactly why Kate Scott felt compelled to defend her on national television. Clark delivered a masterclass in efficiency in just 23 minutes of action. 21 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds, and a perfect 9-for-9 from the free throw line. She operated with surgical precision, unlocked Seattle's defense repeatedly, and executed the exact advanced reads that critics have been penalizing her for attempting. That performance stands as one of the most efficient 23-minute showings in the WNBA this season, a near triple-double in barely half a game. Yet it required a national broadcaster to explicitly provide context for those numbers to get proper recognition from the basketball community. So there you have it. Kate Scott just delivered the most important basketball analysis of the season by simply applying basic mathematical context to Caitlin Clark's game. She exposed the turnover critics as either fundamentally ignorant of how elite basketball operates or deliberately pushing misleading narratives. Meanwhile, Clark continues dominating while her own organization seems determined to undermine the very star that could transform their franchise forever. This isn't just about basketball statistics anymore. This is about whether the WNBA establishment will embrace analytical truth or continue pushing manufactured controversies. What do you think? Was Kate Scott absolutely right to compare Clark's turnover rate to NBA superstars like Jokic and Cunningham? And are the Fever's bizarre marketing decisions actually sabotaging their own ticket sales? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, smash that like button if this breakdown opened your eyes to what's really happening, and subscribe for more analytical coverage that cuts through the noise. Hit the notification bell because this story is just getting started.